Hey there, fellow adventurers. Welcome back to Exploring Still Connected. Today we have something very exciting to talk about, and that is the Tern Overland Door. Kingstar upgraded or retrofitted our truck camper with this Tern Overland Door, and we've had it for about 4 months now, where we've been doing extensive testing and use. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into the video. So first off, let's discuss why we, in collaboration with Kingstar, chose the Tern Overland Door. Well, I was first introduced to the Tern Overland doors by a buddy of mine, Phil, from Down to Mob. He actually has one on his truck camper or his Jeep camper. I was very impressed, and we had a traditional friction hinge base RV door, which to our experience was okay. Little did we know, Kingstar was actually looking to upgrade their door system. Hey, Future Reyes here. I made a little mistake there. Kingstar was actually looking at a premium door that they could add to their line as additional option, and that's where the Tern Overland door comes in. So back to the review. Was a little bit more secure, a little bit more robust to adverse weather conditions, and honestly something that's just going to be a very high-end finish. Enter the Tern Overland door. So Tern Overland doors boast a plethora of features, specifically with overlanders in mind. And some of the main features that they highlight are really around security and weather robustness. So the cool thing about these doors is that they're actual double door. So you have an external shell that's going to protect you from the weather. And then unlike most RV doors, you have an internal security door that is also the screen. The screen has an external mesh covering that will protect you from insects like mosquitoes getting in. And then on the inside, there's actually stainless steel powder coated mesh, which is been touted on Tern Overland's page to be bear proof. And I've even heard some people call it lion proof. I don't want to be the person to test that out though. The other nice feature about that stainless steel mesh is that our cats, or if you have any other pets, they're not going to tear those mesh screens like you would get with just the bug screen. So huge kudos to that. The other security feature that they add is the fact that they actually have deadbolts. So they have two deadbolts, one at the top, one at the bottom, and then they have the traditional locking door latch, which you see right here. The locking door latch has its own key. It's a double-sided key, different from your typical RV doors. But it only locks when the deadbolts are engaged. That said, the other nicety of those deadbolts is they actually suck the door into the camper, ensuring a better seal so that all around the door, the rubber gaskets are actually engaged, reducing the chance of water and dust getting in, which in our experience has been a problem in the past. The other nice things to mention is that it is a all aluminum door. It's powder coated black. It has a nice plexiglass like window, so watch out for scratches on that, but just keep that maintained and you have this really big window that you can view out of. Kingstar did go ahead and rivet in a couple snap-on buttons, and they did that so we could actually add a cloth cover to cover up that window so that we have a little bit more privacy when we're boondocking or if we're just mooch docking somewhere in town. So as I mentioned, we've been testing this door out for the past 4 months. We picked it up and had it installed in Houghton, Michigan in the Upper Peninsula, and we drove all the way down to Virginia Beach, Virginia, all the way back to Colorado and down to Arizona. In between there, lots of dirt roads. We spent a few weeks in Moab over Thanksgiving, so getting a good shakedown run of that. And we've been all over the hills and all over the mountains and highways, as you can imagine, along the way. So really putting it through the paces in the types of environments and conditions that we're going to find ourselves. That said, in the past with our previous door, some of the big pain points that we had, well, one, security. You had a single latch to lock the door, so I was never really confident in that. And then two, we actually, when we're on dirt roads, we would get a lot of dirt coming in the bottom or the top of that door because the locking point was in the center of the door. Both the bottom and the top never really sealed, so you'd get a little bit of dirt flowing in or billowing in, which would get into the camper. As you can imagine, rain or water, not as big of an issue, but if you're taking it to a car wash and you're pressure washing it, we would see water getting inside the camper. All of those problems have pretty much been addressed by the Tern Overland door. Because of that deadbolt functionality, it sucks the door in tight and it ensures a really tight seal. So while we may get a little bit of water into the door, maybe through the plexiglass window or something, it's a drop here too. It's very trivial, and the dust that does make it in usually actually gets caught by that mesh screen that's inside. So again, really nice, keeps the camper very clean, very secure, and in our experience has just been a dream to use. The other nice things about it is that the outer door is completely separate. And what I mean by that is that the outer door is separate from the locking mechanism. So we can actually keep the outer door open, latched, and then we could lock the mesh screen or the security door and go to sleep at night. So in one of the great areas like we are here in Arizona right now, we can leave the door open and enjoy a nice cool breeze in the evenings. Fit and finish on the door is fantastic. As I mentioned, this door was installed and retrofitted by Kingstar. So they did do some tweaks, but their expert team there at the shop knocked this out in an afternoon. And if you're interested in the installation process and potentially installing one of these in one of your campers, whether it's a Kingstar camper or a teardrop camper, I recommend heading over to Tern Overland's website. They actually have some really nice YouTube videos on the installation process of these doors and windows and other options that they have. And they may have some options to fit your camper, your van, or your teardrop camper in case you want to install one of these yourselves. I think Kingstar knocked this install out of the park. They are going to be offering this door as an upgraded option on all of their future builds. And if you have a older Kingstar camper, perhaps reach out to them, see if they can do a retrofit like what I did for my door. As for maintenance and cleaning of the door, it's pretty straightforward. So every now and then we'll wipe down the hinges and the gaskets and sills. We'll just get a wet cloth to do that. Typically, if we're going through the car wash, soap and water. We usually don't scrub it down, maybe a towel to wipe it off. The plastic window, Tern Overland does recommend that you use a Novus plastic cleaning solution. I have some ordered. I haven't tried it yet, but I know that is something that is very important to make sure that you don't get a bunch of scratches or swirls in the plastic. That solution actually does a good job of removing scratches. So, you know, leave a comment down below, ask how that's working out, and I can let you know if we've had any other experiences with it since we posted this video. Besides that, in one of our washes, we actually did a Rain-X solution, which got into the door lock, and that kind of gunked it up a little bit. So to clean out the door lock and the pin, all we did is took a little bit of WD-40, sprayed it in there, took the key in and out a few times, and the door lock has been working fantastic ever since. So other things that we've noticed about the door over the past 4 months. Well, one of the things that we did, so this is user installation, is they have a latch on the exterior door that comes out and then it locks into a little mounting bracket that they provided. We actually mounted that bracket onto our external storage and we put it so it's a little bit higher, like a 45-degree angle of the lat. Unfortunately, we noticed that it was probably designed to be at like a full 90-degree angle because every now and then if it's windy, it will unlatch itself. That's our fault and our issue because we wanted the door to actually be closer to our stand-up external tower right here. And it's a sacrifice that, you know, we're fine making because the door opens up much, much fuller. The other thing that we noticed is that the deadbolts, they do have these two Allen key-like bolts that are what actually lock into the hinge mechanism. And over the course of driving down different roads, we've noticed that those bolts will tend to walk in on it. And by walking in, they actually will hit the hinge and bend it out of place. And by bend it out of place, those hinges are completely adjustable. So it's loosening the screw, straightening it back up, and then just adjusting everything on the fly. We have had to do that 2 times already. It's pretty trivial, and looking at Tern's website, it looks like that shouldn't be an issue. So I'm gonna try to add a little bit of red Loctite to those Allen key bolts that are on the door. And then I'm also gonna add a little bit of red Loctite onto the hinges just to see if that will hold it in place so that we don't have that issue going forward. My guess is all the micro vibrations driving around on dirt roads and washed out roads in Moab probably were the cause of that. And again, it's have a Phillips screwdriver in your camper, easy fix. So that said, who is Tern Overland? They were started around 2017. They're based out of Prescott, Arizona, right up the road from where we're at right now, actually. And they're really known for building robust and reliable overland accessories. So they make doors, they make windows, they make moonroofs. If you're not familiar with them, or if you're doing a DIY project, go check them out. To my knowledge, this is one of the first fully built truck campers to offer a Tern Overland door as a solution or as an option. I have seen them in some DIY kits. I've seen them in minivans. My friend over at Bison Overland, they make a beautiful DIY shell truck camper, and I know that he supplies Tern Overland parts there. So I think this is a great solution. I'd love to see these doors in more truck campers in the future. It is a premium door. I think I checked their website. It's about $1,400. It's going to vary obviously on size and what you need, but it looks like they started around that. Probably go up to around $2,400 would be my guess, but don't quote me. I haven't checked all the prices or all the options yet. This is a great option for a premium door. Added peace of mind of security, keeps the weather and dirt out, and realistically for our travels and our adventures gives us peace of mind that this is one thing that's not going to fail and that we're not going to have to worry about going forward. So in conclusion, the Tern Overland door has been thoroughly tested by us over the past 4 months. The expert installation by Kingstar was fantastic and is extremely robust, and it's given us a lot of peace of mind for our travels while we are adventuring across the US. The door itself is rugged and designed for adventure enthusiasts like us. Anyone that's interested in something that needs to be robust like this would not be disappointed in the quality and finish that Tern Overland provides. If you found this video helpful, or if you have any questions, leave some comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.